first moved into this area when I was 9 years old. It was the 5th of November 1972 when we moved in. And we discovered the park by accident, me and my brother, while we were searching for things to burn for bonfire night. It fast became a regular stomping ground for us because we discovered that there were paddling pools at the bottom. They weren't filled with clean water, it was mud and silt, but that was kind of part of the fun of being a kid, age 9.
My first memories of Queen's Park are as a very young child, perhaps 3 years old, at the paddling pool, which seemed very large and very deep, but probably had no more than 3 inches of water in it. And then on a sunny day you had your picnic afterwards with your mum, and it was a great day out. You'd been on the bus and come to Queen's Park. Excellent.
I was about 8 years old or something. We used to go regularly to Queen's Park, and we'd take bottles of water with us and jam butties so that we could stay quiet a while. And then we'd go and paddle in the paddling pool, which had a little island in the centre. And we used to love going. During our 6-week school holidays, we used to go every day.
We used to have the paddling pools. They were another great part of our lives. Every summer you could get your costumes on. Paddling pools were always full of water, clean water. You could go in and have a paddle. You knew you were safe because your parents were here. You'd bring a picnic.
I used to come to the paddling pool a lot when I was little. They weren't very deep, and I think there was more than one. I think there was about 3, but they was very big. And they're full of children on a nice day, you know, just in the swimming costumes, and you could spend all day here for free.
It was a lovely day, and we'd all took our things and to go in the paddling pool. And nobody ever stole, hardly ever stole in those days. And we always just left our shoes on the banking while we went paddling. And when I came out of the paddling pool, my shoes had disappeared, so I had to walk home in my bare feet. But the annoying part about it was, because we were so poor, I hadn't got anything to wear. And when we were kids, neighbours used to, if we went errands for them, they used to pay us, so I'd saved all my pennies up to buy myself a new pair of shoes from Marks and Spencer's, and they cost 5 and 11. And these were the shoes that I got that were stolen in Queen's Park.
Yeah, we used to come play around where the duck pond is, as you can see. We used to try and get across to Duck Island, which is the large piece of land in the middle of the duck pond, and on one occasion we tried to get across there in a tin bath. That was Guy Harkin and myself, who is current councillor of Bolton, ex-mayor of Bolton, and Guy and myself, we got about 6 feet from the banking when the bath sunk, and we were left floundering in the water.
When I was first learning to ride a bike, and we were riding across the top behind us, behind there, because it's flat, but there's obviously all the big flights of stone steps, and that was when I just about got the hang of it. That was my dad's hilarious joke, was to send me to ride down it. And you just do when you're a kid, don't you? You do what you're told, which ended in me in a heap and lots of tears, and my father in quite a lot of trouble, I think, when I got home.
Every day we were at the playground, I'd say, most likely. My mum would be like, right, you know, let's go to the park. And we used to have a little dog called Raja. So daily we'd be, my dad and my mum would be like, right, we're off taking Raja for a walk, and we'd come to the park, and then you meet other people who live locally, so it's just a really nice place to come, and it's still so beautiful and well kept. So I still come now with my children, 35 years on.
that was always the sort of local meeting place. It was a viewing platform where you could, probably the highest point in the park, where you could look and try and see where your friends were and if you couldn't find them. And so yeah, we used to spend lots of time up there, just whether playing hide and seek or just as kids. Basically the grass was always quite long, rolling down the hill down to near where the paddling pond used to be at the time.
There used to be a wonderful floral clock in the main part of the entranceway, and to see that back again, I think people my age, 55, 65, would be absolutely enchanted by it again.
Our dad came over in the 50s, and then he sent for my mum after, and then they sent for us.
In those days, there weren't many blacks around, and like I say, we had nowhere for us to go to, so we used to have house parties.
Dad decided that he wanted to get the West Indian communities together, because we didn't have anywhere to go, they didn't have anything to do.
So kept applying for different places, got turned down, and then finally we got this place here. Blacks and whites used to come together and have a really good time.
I was coming to the West Indian Centre from being a baby for as long as I can remember. I mean, I've got a lot of memories from coming here. It's mad. It was like a second home sort of thing.
Many a good evening, lots of really good interracial events that went on as a result of that. There was a lot of coming together. Back in the late 70s, early 80s, there was a lot of problems in the area between Asian kids and white kids, the general stuff that you're getting today, but it was really quite violent then. So to have the West Indian Centre come up and provide DJ nights and music nights and events like that was really, really good. It kind of opened up and broke down a lot of barriers, so it was good.
And in those days, it was sort of unusual because the English didn't really do anything like that, you know what I mean? And when they came to the parties, they couldn't believe the atmosphere, and people enjoying themselves. And
they used to enjoy the food, the curry.
Yeah, the food, curry goat and rice and plantain and yam and coke.
There were always dances on here. I remember coming down, setting up for the dances and stuff, and they used to go on all night long. I mean, in the summer, where we stood now used to be a park, and at the side of the centre here, we used to have a shop, and I used to help my granddad serve ice cream and sell sweets and drinks and all that kind of stuff. And it were a good time.
Being in the park was a good thing for the centre because this is where it actually first started off. The first place we ever had, and like I say, with it being a park as well, with the young kids playing on the park, they'd come to the centre, for music lessons, steel band lessons and all sorts.
I learnt how to oil drum there. And they'd come into school, the community groups, and then we'd have sessions and we'd come up to the community centre and they had a bit of a youth group going on. So again, it's just really nice to have that close to the town, close to my house, which is convenient for myself, but to have that community group in the park made a difference.
I've been coming to Queen's Park all my life, really, as long as I can remember. My granddad was the head park ranger here for 15 or 20 years, I think. So I used to come down in my granddad's van quite a lot of the time, help him shut the park gates up and stuff. Butterfly World opened in, I think it was about 1986, something like that. He brought me down the weekend before it was opening so I could see when all the butterflies were being brought in from outside and stuff, so it was just me and him in there. It was lovely.
We used to always go to the butterfly world, and it was always this huge expanse around it, with people playing football and having picnics, and I always remember coming here as a child. It was one of our regular trips out.
And visitors used to come and visit us from London, Leicester, Birmingham, and it was one of our main attractions was to take people to Butterfly World, and again it was really well received and really nice place to go and learn. Like you know, you learn so much about nature.
We used to chase squirrels, and now my granddaughter comes in the park with my dad, and the squirrels actually come up to be hand-fed, so we didn't frighten them away when we were kids.
My happy memories are the greenhouse and the favourite banana tree. All the kids would have loved that.
To one of the local schools here, and we used to walk from school every night down to town through Queen's Park. It's just a beautiful place. I remember my uncles when I was younger taking me through the park, showing me all the names of the flowers and the trees, and taking me gathering conkers.
I used to come a lot on Saturdays as well when I was younger, sort of in my early teens with my grandma and all my cousins, and go and feed the ducks. I used to end up having to run round after all my cousins are boys and they're all younger than me, so I used to have to try and keep an eye on them while my grandma and her sisters were drinking tea out of a flask. It was annoying at the time, but they're the things that are nice memories when you get older, really. Your memories of your family and stuff.
We used to run a football team called the Soul Squad from the centre here, which we used to come and watch every week. I think my dad used to play on it at some point. They had a rounders team as well, which I was always used to come and help score and sort of stuff. It was really like family orientated, really good community vibe here and stuff.
As a young teacher at lunchtime, in the days when schools had an hour and a half for lunch, we used to get in a car and nip down here, climb over the fence because the tennis courts were locked, and get an hour's tennis. Easy for the fellas, but not quite so easy for the young women in their tennis skirts, and possibly a bit embarrassing.
Yeah, it's a lovely park. I come here for my exercise and walking around. I come almost 6 days a week, if not all the 7 days. It's very clean. The reasons I like this place is it's quite big, quite wide, has lot of greenery, lot of trees around. Whichever side you look, there is all green and fresh. It gives you a feeling of greatness, freshness.
Like 40 years ago, there was a traditional Indian exercise group which came together and they formed, it was called Shaka, and they met on the bowling green. They used to gather to do traditional Indian exercises.
In the what is the amphitheatre, or what it was called the bandstand at the time, my uncle, Eric Clark, he had an act with his partner Bill Edwards, and it used to be Eric and Bill Edwards and the Magic of the Mind. They used to appear on the bandstand doing a mind reading act, and they appeared there on a number of occasions in the early to mid 50s.
I went to St Matthew's School, And at that particular time, there's a centenary happening in Queen's Park, which all people from different organisations, factories, offices, schools, and other places, they all got their own little acts together to put a big performance on. I was chosen to dance around the maypole with other school children. It was really exciting for us because there was policemen on big black horses with beautiful manes, and they had big black capes on, and the capes hung over the backsides of the horses.
I always remember we used to come out the park, there used to be about 6, 7 of us, and we used to see Eddie Kid come on with his trucks, and as soon as they came, we'd try sneaking watching his stunts. We finally got friendly with his crew, and every summer they used to let us in, and we used to sit there and have a laugh with him. There's one thing he never did, and that was let us go on his motorbikes.
Recently, we used the park for a festival called Holi, which is a festival of colour. So we used a new activity room for indoor activities with some dance and dramas and workshops, with lots of community groups came together. It was really well attended, so it's great to have an indoor space, especially when it's raining. And outdoor, we used the park for colour play, and it was amazing. There was like lots of colours and people throwing colours at each other to signify unity, that when colours thrown, it represents a oneness, and the park was the perfect place to do it.
I run a project called Rocket, and we started doing our annual festival on Queen's Park several years ago, and we used a site towards the top near up from the duck pond. And it's fantastic, and the whole idea, the reason why we chose Queen's Park was because we knew we wanted to try and get it back for the community. We wanted the communities around Queen's Park to get involved, to come out for the day, to see what's happening in arts and music, and to have young people, getting people from around Queen's Park involved in what's happening, and make it feel like it was their own again. And I think that's been achieved.
What a fantastic change to the park. It was safe to walk through again. They'd replaced all the dog-eared trees and bad bits of furniture and everything. They'd mown the grass, they'd put the flowers in, and it was just a tremendous change.
Yeah, we had some good memories around here, and it's been absolutely brilliant. You know, but I like that they've made it more safe for the children today. The bush is cut down, and they just completely made it safer.
Yeah, it's a lot nicer. It just seems a lot cleaner inside here. It's a much more pleasant place to be now than it used to be, with the cafe, and the kids' play area is nice as well, and the lakes are what's down past the lakes, and they're a lot cleaner and nicer.
It's just been a part of my life, I suppose, from child to almost 70. Queen's Park, nice place.